Hey kids, this is Ivan. How you doing? I couldn't help but notice the last couple of videos I posted didn't get a lot of views, and so I'm thinking maybe I should post something contentious title. But it's not my intent to do that today. Um, it's funny. I was thinking about this for a while, and it's something I spoke about in the past. But a subject came up on I think the brigade group on Facebook, RPG Brigade, and it was about random character generation. And somebody posted, their being in favor of it, and I think they linked a video of theirs to it. And then, of course, the debate started because this is, obviously a contentious topic. And I've talked about, my personal preference is for random character generation. Some systems simply don't have it, and that's okay too. But I like finding out, who I'm going to be. I like that little bit of extra surprise. Um, but I understand if people don't like it. But it was interesting where the discussion went, and I just kind of was and I'm not picking on anybody that was involved in the discussion. So that's not my intent. So if it was you, I'm not picking on you. um, but I just kind of very tongue in cheek said, well, all of us are really playing randomly generated characters, aren't we? In real life, and of course that sparked some debate. Um, and it's what's funny is what came up is the definition of player agency, and there have been several times in my life when I've been discussing something with somebody and all of a sudden realized that the definition we had for what we were talking about was completely different. And so I had this happen with one of the posters. So forgive me, I actually got to go scroll through and read where it is. But a player, a poster, as we were talking back and forth about this, said he didn't really like the, let's see, I don't want to misquote him. He didn't like the removed player agency, as far as not being able to generate his own character. He felt that was removal of player agency. And, I kind of quoted back, player agency is what you do. It's not choosing the hand you've been given in the first place. Rather, player agency is how you play that hand. Um, to me, player agency, the way I define it in role-playing games is I get to decide what my character does or tries to do. I get to decide what they think, how they feel, every decision they make. I don't get to decide the outcomes. And in this case, where I've decided, going with a randomly generated character, I don't get to decide who they are in the beginning in terms of how, I didn't get to decide, the example I used, in my own life was I'll never be stupid, not real stupid, but I'm never going to be graceful either. I have limitations, both, on the top and the bottom. And I can certainly do everything I can to improve in some areas. And some areas, if you don't use it, you lose it too. This is just as normal life. But I've been dealt a hand. It's how I play it that's important. The interesting thing is what this poster posted back, which said player agency, and this is their definition of it, is your ability as a player to influence different aspects of the game. Attributes are an aspect of the game. Your inability to influence them is a form of diminishing your agency. And so, at that point, I realized that we couldn't have a real meaningful discussion on player agency even without getting to a lot of polemics because we had a very different description of what it was. I think we were coming from the same basic premise. However, this individual had a much larger definition of what player agency was than I did. And of course, there's people in different types of gaming styles which have a much larger definition of what player agency is, because at that point they're narrating how the story goes and what how things happen in the they're altering reality in one way or another. So definition of player agency is very important. And me, I like random character generations. Obviously, there's systems that don't support that, but to me, it's a lot of fun rolling the dice and figuring out, well, who am I this time? And mostly it's stats. I'm a little bit less of a fan of rolling up personality or gender. I like to choose my gender, but it is what it is. And it's good to think, get forced to play something outside the box. But I've had a lot of fun playing characters I wouldn't normally have thought of playing, and learn from the experience as I kind of explored that different type of character, because we could all get stuck in a rut playing the same kind of character over and over again. I'm sure you've all played with somebody who their character dies or they get sick of them and they play a new character, and it's the same personality. It's the same character, just a different coat of paint.